All right, so we're back here once again here on Couch Coach Live under the lights for the first time in this year, 2024. Got a special guest in the building. What's going on, JB?
What's going on? What's going on, Couch Coach Live?
Everything's good, man.
Yeah.
Just keep on moving, keep doing our thing, man. It's like we talked about earlier, 2024. Like it's it's upon us, and what we thought, like we talked about it 20 years ago. We would do, when you think about stuff 20 years ago, we were adults, which is crazy to think that, like 2004, you think like, oh, like, but it's another year, but blessed to have another year, here. So definitely it's not, not complaining, but hey, just more so, hey, just observing. Yeah, man, we the uncles, man. We the old men of the crew now. We ain't, we ain't the kids no more. Now we get called OG. Oh God. When people call me OG, I get offended. I am just a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. When they call you OG, man, it's like, damn. It's like, do I need to like just put like hair dye in my beard and be like, look, we the same age?
Yeah. Yeah. We're like the elder. We're like the elders of
I
Holland
know.
Springs.
Yeah, we are the elders. Yeah, I know. I remember it was probably about a couple years back. I was at a basketball game, and one of the girls, because I had a Highland Springs hoodie, and one of the girls, she was a cheerleader, and she was cheerleader for VCU, and she was like, "Oh, you went to Highland Springs?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "What year did you come out?" When I told her what year I came out, she just did a gasp, like, she's like, "I just graduated." I think that might have been like 2019 or maybe 2020, and she was like,
Yeah.
"I just graduated in June." I was like, "Well."
Yeah.
It's
Well,
been a while.
man, it's been a while. Yeah, I graduated Holland Springs. I've been graduated from Holland Springs longer than you've been alive, sweetheart.
Pretty much. Probably when you
Yeah.
were born. That's
Yeah.
another one where I don't know. You ever heard of Raekwon Smith? He's the king of the NIL.
Hmm.
You've heard him. So he went to
Yeah.
Highland Springs, and he was at a symposium. I was in Atlanta, and it was
Yeah.
funny because we were talking, and I told him, hey, I was like, the year that you was born, because he was born July of 2001. I
Hmm.
said, when you were born, I was a senior in high school at Highland Springs. And he was just like,
Wow.
it's
I
like that,
know.
man. It's just,
Yeah, we July 2001. We went back and got the iBooks.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I still think to myself, you let teenagers have a laptop.
I know. I know.
Like,
Man, I remember a bunch of wild stuff, man. I remember how people were downloading the games and then they took them away from us. And I
yeah,
remember, I'm not going to say his name, but somebody got caught watching
man,
porn in the
right.
cafeteria and they got in trouble. And then like they were on the bus emotional. And I'm like, yo, what did you expect, man? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we go. We even though it's a statute of limitations, but we're gonna
Yeah,
spare our boy because he has a great family. He's living his life. He's almost a damn near 40-year-old man, and he's put that
yeah,
behind him.
yeah,
But yeah, great guy, great guy. But
yeah,
yeah. But shout out to that young man. Which like we said, we'll leave him nameless. But
yeah.
here, so I'll bring Maui in here momentarily.
Okay.
Shit.
What's going on,
Maui,
man?
Yeah,
Maui,
we shit.
Maui. Happy New Year.
Same to you, bro. Just chilling on the avenue.
Facts, yeah, man.
Right.
Hey, man. It's all good in the avenue at this point. Good lord. I mean,
Right.
Lamar ain't even playing. They got what's shit gonna be playing? So
Please
you
don't
might
play
you might get
Lamar.
yourself. Oh no, he out Saturday. So you good. Y'all might slide up in the playoffs.
Before we get started, how's everybody's
We
happy
shall see.
everybody New Year?
Peaceful.
Yeah. Well, mine wasn't that peaceful. So, like the people here in the Philippines, man, they really know how to bring in the new year, man. They started shooting off fireworks December 31st at like 9. The fireworks were going until 2:30, man. I thought I was like in the middle of a war zone. It sounded like cannons. The sky was on, the sky was lighting up. So yeah, man. I brought in the new year in another country. So
That's what's up. You my
yeah.
hero. I'm so jealous. It's coming though. You know what I mean?
Thanks. Yeah, man. I thank the Minnesota Vikings for letting me go to bed early. So it was peaceful.
Oh yeah.
It was peaceful at the compound here, here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Shout,
man.
shout out to Jordan. Shout out to Jordan Love too for doing his thing in that game as well.
Yeah, and allowing us to go to bed at a decent time. I definitely appreciate him. Josh Allen, do that to us next week as well.
Please don't, Josh Allen.
I mean, oh man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, especially with our picks and stuff and all that. But we got a great show lined up for you tonight. So we'll talk about the college football semifinals, New Year's Day affair, doubleheader. We'll talk about that. Monse Balanos, she had some words about Lamar Jackson that he wasn't quarterbacky. We'll talk about that. Guess is that a new term for 2024? We shall see. Should the Bears keep Justin Fields? And also, we'll talk about our game to watch this week, go into our picks, and then we'll give out this week's game ball. So we got a great show lined up for you. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a brief time out. We're going to kick that intro, and we'll be back here on Couch Coach Live.
Shit.
Yes, and we like that. Shout out to Big Kirko. He's getting himself together now, and also in that game, shirtless Kirk Cousins, doing his thing on Sunday Night Football. But we're back here on Couch Coach Live, first episode of 2024. So, yeah, man, yeah, time is waiting for no man.
7 years, bro.
Yeah, man. It'll be 10 years in July. Crazy.
Wow.
But we are here. So first, we definitely got to talk about the college football semifinals. So, which were all great games in there, right? So we had Michigan versus Alabama. Our first matchup where Michigan did win by the final score 27-20 in overtime. To Alabama, and then we also had Washington versus Texas, where we had the Huskies winning 37-31. So now we have Michigan versus Washington and the Natty. So I want to go around the horn. JP, what's your thoughts on the national semifinals games on New Year's Day? What you got?
So I missed a good portion of the Alabama Michigan game, but I saw 4-quarter overtime. One thing that stood out to me, especially I was able to watch the game later on. I rewatched the game. Michigan's defensive line dominated Alabama's offensive line, which was a shock to me. I didn't expect for that to happen. It looked like Alabama, even though they struggled, they had done enough to win. But shout out to JJ McCarthy. I mean, he came up big on that last drive, and the running back Coral, he ran really well the fourth quarter and in overtime. One thing I didn't like Alabama's last play. I get in theory what you're doing. You want the ball in your best player's hand, but I didn't like that call, and also that was a horrible snap. I mean, the snap was so bad, it wasn't going to do anything. He wasn't able to get his footing, but I didn't like the last play in the Alabama game. As far as the other game, I thought the Washington Texas game was very entertaining. It was like a shootout, and man, Michael Penix, man, I think that he's not getting enough respect. I think he definitely he showed out on in the game, and I think that he definitely he should maybe be the second quarterback after Caleb. But I thought Texas just turned the ball over too much. They had a couple of huge turnovers in the second half. I thought, that first turnover that they had in the fourth quarter when the running back caught the ball and he fumbled, I thought that was huge. I think maybe if he doesn't fumble there, the game ends up being different. But yeah, they were both very, very good games.
Yeah, both games did live up to the bill, because normally in most semifinal games, it's always been one-sided. We've seen that, and I think that's been kind of the issue. I think a lot of people think of when we do an expansion, where if the semifinal games are bad, the other games are going to be bad as well. But this one lived up to the bill. Like you said, Michigan and Alabama. Like you said, what was interesting, because obviously Michigan was able to get 6 sacks on Milroe, which, like you said, that's kind of unheard of from a, like you said, Alabama offensive line. That stout, they do their thing. So that's one thing too. Michigan, in a weird way, like, because normally when you beat Alabama, you really got to play a clean brand of football. All three phases got to come together, and for Michigan to have all those special team blunders, you look at they had a muff punt, and then they had one that almost could have cost them the game in that fourth quarter. They missed an extra point. They missed some field goals. It's kind of one of those where, if you would have sat down and think, one of the phases that had failed, this could have been something that go Alabama's way. But like you said, Blake Corum did a great job, and then the quarterback played by J.J. McCarthy. I think that's another one where that's the key to beat Alabama, as well, having that quarterback play. But Michigan, I mean, they did considering the fact special teams blunders, they was able to win this football game and also to come back, because obviously they were down by 7 in the fourth quarter. So Michigan did their thing. And then the Washington Texas, like you said, it was a shootout. It was one of those where you look at going into halftime, it was 21-21. Then you look at kind of Washington doing their thing, as far as Penix is just, he was doing his thing. Shout out to that field goal kicker. His name is Grady Gross. He had like 3 field goals in that second half to kind of help somewhat extend their lead. And Quinn Ewers had an opportunity at the end, and they fell a little bit short. But these both games, like you said, lived up to the bill. And like you said, Michael Penix, he continues to show college football what he's all about. I mean, you seen him at Indiana, had the resurgence of Indiana once upon a time, and then doing his thing here in Washington. So these were great games. So and I think Monday is going to be a beauty.
Right. How old is he? Penix. How old is he? 85.
24. 24. Well, really, legally, he's 24, but he been around.
Yeah.
He was born in the 90s. They were born in the 90s. Yeah, he was born in the 90s.
Yeah. Right. That's why I said, I was like, I didn't know that they had players that long in the league.
Bo Nix. Yeah, Bo Nix. We talked.
Bo Nix.
Like we talked about a few weeks ago. Bo Nix, Cam Rising. Like Cam Rising went to school with me and JB in the 90s. Like, I'm telling you, man, these dudes a bunch of old dudes, like a bunch of old dudes playing. Like, I think because Cam Rising, but in all seriousness, he graduated like in 2018, so he could probably going to be playing football in the year of 2025. Yeah, he's literally gonna be like it. Yeah, man. It's all of it too is that, then plus coupled with like the COVID year. A lot of people, so they got the extra year eligibility too. So
that's right.
So I'm assuming those. I wouldn't say they might be a last of a dying breed, but yeah, man. And another person who I didn't realize who was old. Well, that college football old. Shiloh Sanders. Like Shiloh Sanders, he's 20. Yeah. I think he's I think he'd be 24 next week, or no, he'd be 24 in February.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, that's
like
that. Yeah, me too. Like,
yeah, man,
hey,
we got QBs born in the 90s.
right?
Hey, I feel bad for people who are behind it.
Video world. What do you say?
Yeah, they used to watch film on VCR.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So, fellas, we gotta go into the next topic here. So, it's something about the QBs, man. Some QBs in this league, they just continuously some stuff happens to them. So we get ready to roll a clip momentarily. So we kind of set it up. Once again, this is fair use. So this is Fox Sports radio personality Monse Balanos. So she was on a show, I want to say one day last week. I know this was probably right after we did our show last week, but it's something I definitely wanted to kind of discuss. So I'm going to cue up that video. And once again, it is fair use. Let me get that going.
You don't think Lamar Jackson's the most valuable player in the National Football League?
No, I don't.
This is absurd.
What are you talking about? Y'all are absurd. Listen, this sounds like I don't like Lamar Jackson, and that's not what it is at all. I think Lamar Jackson has come out and has become a better quarterback this year. He is doing better than I thought, throwing the ball and just, being the quarterback, especially after losing his favorite target to Mark Andrews. And I see it. But to me, the MVP is somebody who has been kicking ass and taking names week after week.
On Fox Sports Radio, Monse Bolaños has found herself trending for her take on Lamar Jackson.
But he's also had 4 games this year without a touchdown pass. 4. Then he's had other games where he had 1 touchdown. 2 games, like he has not been. In the words of Colin Cowherd, stars attract stars. No, I'm so rich, but I want my quarterback to be quarterbacky. And to me, Lamar Jackson's just a great athlete.
And there.
All right. So, Monse had said what she had to say in this clip. And I kind of want to give you the full context. A lot of it, as we've been seeing the last few days or so, it's just been that quarterbacky. So she kind of gave somewhat of a context to it. So, JB, I'm going to go with you first. Your thoughts on Monse Balanos' comment towards Lamar Jackson not being quarterbacky.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I get what she's saying, but like, I think that the quarterback race this year has kind of been strange because you've had so many ebbs and flows. Like, for a week or so, it looked like it was going to be Purdy. For a little bit, it looked like it was going to be Dak. And with what's just been going on, you've had people who thought it was maybe Christian McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill. So it hasn't been like a guy where you thought, oh man, this guy's going to be the MVP, because usually we can kind of sort of tell by the middle of November who the MVP is going to be. Now, last year, had he not gotten hurt, I think Jalen Hurts would have won the MVP, but once he got hurt, he kind of lost it and it became Mahomes. But this year has been kind of strange. I don't see any difference in what she's saying than what Cam Newton said a few weeks ago. I mean, Cam Newton, and we didn't talk about this, but like Cam Newton made a bunch of just, I think, weird, strange comments when it came to Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott, saying that they were game managers. But I mean, what's funny to me about what Cam Newton said, I know I'm going a little bit off topic. Cam Newton kept on talking about how he was a game changer and this, that. Well, how come he only threw for 30 touchdown passes once in his career if he was so good? So, I mean, when you look at Cam Newton's stats, when you break down Cam Newton's career stats, Cam Newton, he has the stats of a game manager. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I think Lamar is the MVP. I think that because of the year, because of just the way this year has been, I think that he played a very good game against San Francisco, and he balled out against Miami, and they ended up with the number 1 seed. So I think he has to be He has to be MVP. He's had some stinkers, but every quarterback has had some stinkers. Dak has had a couple of bad games. Purdy's had a couple of bad games. Tyreek Hill has gotten hurt. McCaffrey has had a couple of bad games. So, I mean, like, I get what she's saying, but I don't think what she's saying is actually factual, because if you look at it, almost every year you have the MVP usually has 1 or 2 bad games.
Yeah. All right, what you got, Maui?
He's I think she needs to retract that and just try to pick some better words to define what she's really trying to say. I was watching another guy speak on it, and he had a great argument without using that word, basically saying that most quarterbacks that win MVP, they are number 1 or in the top 3 of all these different stats. That's a great argument to say. Me personally, you know why she said it and why they keep thinking that, because it's like he always has to prove himself to be a pocket quarterback, which I don't think is fair, because you're not saying that to Josh Allen and you're not saying that to Patrick Mahomes. I've never heard Patrick Mahomes. They were been blowing him up. Oh man, he's breaking all rules. He shouldn't throw the ball, blah, blah, blah. And he got MVPs and he got Super Bowls. So regardless, let Lamar be who Lamar is. And I hope he's not trying to figure out a way to prove those people wrong, because most African American quarterbacks, that's what really sometimes messed their career up. Like, remember how nasty Donovan McNabb was, and then all of a sudden he just changed because he wouldn't run, he wouldn't do anything. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna say this: I don't think if he went MVP, that's cool. But I think it's time for him to get a Super Bowl. He's already had got his MVP. He's I think it was unanimous.
Yeah,
wasn't it unanimous?
He was unanimous. He was unanimous.
Right.
He was unanimous in 2019. He was unanimous in 2019.
And the only other one was that, wasn't it Peyton Manning? Like, he tied with Peyton Manning with something based upon the MVP. But anyway, I think he finally got his defense. He finally got his weapons. He has an offensive coordinator. And if I was Lamar, I wouldn't give a damn about that MVP. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So if that's how you feel, you can give it to Christian McCaffrey. I wouldn't even be mad. You can give it to Dak. I wouldn't even be mad. But Lamar already, the way that defense look and the way that team and where they playing right now, I'm seeing Super Bowl. And they was my Super Bowl pick anyway. So that's my take on it.
Oh, but Maui.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
But Maui, you better hope that Odell Beckham doesn't take him out on a boat ride, man.
Hey, don't
if
do
he
that.
takes him out on a boat ride.
Actually, there's rumors that he's gonna rent a boat. I swear, I'm not making this up.
I think the best thing.
Hey, Maui. Hey, Maui. All I'm gonna say, man, that boat ride has basically destroyed the New York Giants franchise. I'm just saying, Lamar, if you're watching the show, don't go on a boat ride. Tell the whole team not to go on it. Tell Odell that he can go by himself. And if Odell, if Odell breaks his foot or something, that's on him. But don't go on a boat ride, man. I'm telling you this now, man. It's not going to end well.
There is a rumor said that he might be renting out what they call the Spirit of Baltimore. But I do want to get into Monse's statement. I get it. I think a lot of people, she been getting a lot of flack for it. But like you said, I get it, especially followed by the context. Because this year, no one has had a dominating performance.
Right.
This year, in theory, the MVP is really going to mean the most valuable player.
Right.
When you have a guy like a Lamar Jackson who essentially has led Baltimore to the number 1 seed in the AFC. I get where she's saying that. The quarterbacky, I think that's just off the cusp. I don't necessarily think I don't think nothing much of it. But I think and what he has done is impressive. I mean, you think to yourself, this is granted before the situation against Miami where he had the 5 touchdowns. So she, coming into it, he at the San Francisco game, he had like 19 touchdowns. So that's another thing too, where I kind of, I kind of see where she come from that angle. At that time, he had 19.
Right.
But having that, but what he has done, like the 5 touchdowns against Miami, I think, like we said, has essentially sealed the MVP for him, in my personal opinion, because of the performance. Because he's had great performance against the top teams in the league. We've seen it on Christmas Day against San Francisco. We've seen it against Miami. I mean, he's had those performances. Like you said, this year is going to be different. We don't have a 50-yard touchdown guy. I think is what Dak has 32. He leads everybody with 32 touchdowns on the season. So we don't necessarily have that type of guy that's like towering everybody as far as that wise. Like you said, and Christian McCaffrey, I think they're not going to do it because obviously you think about it. This whole situation with the running back situation. Could you imagine them giving him the running back and how they try and devalue running backs? Like the NFL would create a narrative like that. No. Like, so, I mean, I think a lot of people just kind of blew the comments out of proportion, but that's why I kind of let that context play as well, where you can see where the quarterback came from. Because I think a lot of people, when they seen like that little clip, well, he's not quarterbacky. So, but man.
I'm with you. And you're right. But at the same time, she is on Fox, and she also, like a lot of us, have a responsibility not to say things like, I want him to be more quarterbacky. He's a great athlete. When we all start, our eyes are open to understand what people are saying about what you say about African American quarterbacks. Oh, he's not, like, just what was it, a week before, the quarterback for Alabama said exactly what what's his name? Bill O'Brien, what he said about him, and say, man, basically told him you don't need to be a quarterback or you suck. So when you use things like, oh, he's a great athlete, when this guy's already an MVP, unanimous MVP in the NFL, when they said when he was with Louisville, they was like, is Louisville that good, or is it just Lamar Jackson? Like, you looking at a generational talent that is somebody extremely special, and he deserves that respect. You know what I mean? And that you know what I'm saying? That's really, and then like you could see, and that's what I'm saying. She was talking. If you pay attention, she also said something about Tyreek Hill. She said, I'm not a big fan of him for what he does off the field. We're not talking about that. You see what I'm saying? So anybody's perspective, when you say that, you say, okay, you automatically, but she did say that she feel like he should get it, but you didn't have to say that part. You know what I mean? Like, just say what you think about him on the field. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to talk about the personal stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's when you really listen to it, you like, okay, you're supposed to be professional, and you gotta take responsibility of the stuff that you say. And you didn't mean it that way, but you shouldn't have used those specific words.
But she did get
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I also think I get what you're saying, Maui, but like, I think that it's the day that we're living in, because I think a lot of these people who work in sports journalism, I think that they say a lot of stuff that's disingenuous. I mean, like, and they're saying stuff that's like not true. Like, I mean, like, I was telling somebody about this the other day, like, Tiki Barber, he was on. He was talking beginning of the year, and he was saying that Daniel Jones is better than Dak Prescott. And I'm like, how can you say that? I mean, how can you say that? I mean, like, are you saying that because you're a Giants fan? But I mean, you can't say that. And like, a lot of stuff that they're saying, I get it. Like, when Lamar struggles, he struggles. It looks bad. But when he's great, it looks amazing. But I feel what you're saying, Maui. I think that she could have worded it better. Like, hey, usually when the quarterback's the MVP, he's like top 3 in touchdowns. He's top 3 in yards. Lamar isn't this or whatever. Lamar has played well this year, but he's also had some games where he hasn't played well. I mean, because there have been some games where Baltimore has scored like 13 points, 16 points and stuff like that. But I feel what you're saying, but I just think it's the day and age that we live in. I think that a lot of these journalists, they're just looking for clickbait. They're looking for a way to like draw in more of the audience. And I think some of the stuff that they're saying, it's kind of like the WWE sometimes. I feel like with some of these sports talk shows. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And this is why we're talking about it. Because of said quarterback. It goes back to what we talked about with Rodney Harrison calling Zach Wilson trash. It goes back to it, like you said, and that's what it is. It's a shock factor, because that's what I said, where people are trying to get it for clicks, because it's not like how it used to be normally when we had guys who had takes and they provided and analysis behind it. Like you said, what's gonna be more click worthy? You saying that okay, well, Dak Prescott is better than Daniel Jones. Duh. Like nobody's gonna pay attention to that, right?
Yeah.
But if that's like you saying, like you said, Daniel Jones is better than Dak Prescott, then like you said, then everybody's gonna talk. It's gonna be a subject, but it's not gonna just be a subject that that's gonna create content for other people who are covering the sport. Because it's like, how would you say something as dumb as that? It's like they know what they're doing. Like you said, that's why I don't take it too serious in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, like the whole thing, like with Lamar thing, it's like to me, okay, is it a fluke? He won a Heisman Trophy at a basketball school. Like it's almost like, but if I said that, which makes sense, no one would hear that. But if I said, oh, it's a fluke that he won at Louisville, everybody up in their arms, I'll have a million views to say, oh, this, you suck, you trash. But if you kept it real, what happens?
Right.
Crickets.
Right.
Yeah, man. But
and one more thing, man. Like, I know we got to move on. When I look at Lamar, I look at Lamar. Let's compare. I mean, I probably should, but I am. So Ja Morant and Lamar Jackson. Lamar's big. They both generational talents, but Lamar is not doing what Ja did. You know what I mean? Like we all looking at Ja like, Ja, you got a chance, and blah blah blah, and this and that. And Ja messed his money up. You know what I'm saying? Where Lamar did not do that. Lamar was doing what he's supposed to do. Was saying, he broke everything down. He sounded like a young quarterback, and then still he won the MVP. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's only so many in the last 6 years. It's only been 3. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar. Like, you really, give him the respect that he deserved. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at the names that he's with, So I was just looking at that. Like, Lamar should have been drafted number 1, but they did Baker Mayfield, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Comeback player of the year. Comeback player of the year.
Yeah, it should have been him. Right. And then you look at Ja. Like we look at Ja now. It was Zion first. It should have been Ja. You know what I'm saying? Ja's the bigger draw. Ja, you know what I'm saying? Like Ja's the big, when you look at Zion, like you look at the Pelicans, you like, I know that's your team. Don't take it disrespect. Okay, Jay? But if you look at Ja, like, is he really the biggest weapon on the team? He's not. He's not. You like, man, think about if you would have got Ja Morant on your squad, bro. Think about it.
Man, dude, him in New Orleans would not have been good, man.
Man, we were just talking. Y'all got everything. Y'all should be a top 3 team. Y'all got everything on your squad, man. Y'all should be for real. When we said that,
dude, if Ja Morant was in New Orleans, man, like Zion, don't get me wrong, Zion's got some weight problems. Ja Morant would probably be like leading a underworld group.
Hey, he in New Orleans, it'll be okay. He be taken care of better than. But you understand what I'm saying, though, right?
But even in the situation with him being drafted 32, that was the best thing that could ever happen to him in his career.
Happened to him, yeah.
I don't think he would have been successful in Cleveland, especially with everything that was going on that, as far as him being with what's your boy? What was your boy at the OC at Pittsburgh? What's his name?
I know you're talking. But the head coach and him might have got along.
Todd Haley.
Yeah.
But what's the name? Him might have got along though.
Yeah, I know Odell, right. But like I said, he went to a steady organization, and that's what Lamar needed, and he has an organization that has helped him, especially the time I think that was maybe Ozzie Newsome like last draft. So you're right. It worked out for him, and that's something. Yeah, I mean, but that's a draft. That's the thing about the draft. You just it's an inact science, and it's funny. I guess we can now segue to it. So, so we got to talk about the Chicago Bears and have somewhat of a big decision to make in these next few weeks as the season ends for the Bears. So, should the Bears keep Justin Fields? So obviously we know that the Bears hold the number 1 overall pick, and that was via the trade for the Carolina Panthers. Obviously the Panthers had the worst record in the league. So there's been some rumors that if they do trade out of that spot, that they could potentially get two future first round picks, a day 2 pick, a Friday, aka Friday pick, and a veteran. And then also, if they were to get rid of said Fields just singular by himself, that they probably could command a possible second or third round pick. So the question is, should the Bears keep Fields and draft Caleb Williams? I'm gonna go with you first, JB. What you got? What's your thoughts?
I'm kind of torn on this because I mean the Bears have played better. I think personally, I think this is what you do. I think that you run it back with Fields again. I think you run it back next year. I don't think that you change quarterbacks. I still do have my doubts about Fields. So, and the thing I'm going to say about Fields is this: I think that when they're down late in the game, he really hasn't proven that he can throw the football. Like if he has to throw the football to march the ball down the field, he has done it. I think he's a very dynamic athlete. I think he's a very good runner, and I think that he would be better off in a different offense where it's like a RPO offense. But if it's 27-20 and it's 2 minutes left in the game, I have no faith that Justin Fields is going to march me down the field and score the game time touchdown. I just don't. But I think he has improved this year, and I think that you have to run it. I think that you run it back with him again next year, and I think that they're bringing their coach back. So I think that you run it back next year, and you hope that he continues to improve a little more.
Yeah, what you got, Maui?
You only get from what I was watching today, I ain't seen much about the Bears, but I'm looking at Fields, big body, athlete, run well. Probably been playing quarterback his whole life. I'm sure he probably could throw some throws, but I think that you have to have some weapons, and the only weapon, he only really got from what I've seen today, he has one receiver, which is DJ Moore, I think.
DJ Moore, yeah.
DJ Moore, and his percentage to him was I think 71. Everybody else is it's real low. It's in the 60s. So, you got to continue. My question is, do you think they have given him the weapons that he deserves?
No.
So I think. Go ahead.
No, I agree. I don't think they have, but there are things that I've seen when I watch the Bears play.
Right.
He misses easy plays that you have to make as a quarterback. But I do agree that they haven't done right by him. I would say that.
If you was to take Justin Fields and put him on the Cardinals, and then take Kyler Murray and put him on the Bears, which one you think would be successful? Which team would be successful?
I think the Bears would be. Well, I mean, from the standpoint that I think Kyler Murray's a better thrower of the football than Justin Fields is at this moment.
Okay.
So
he's more developed.
Right. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, he's more developed, and I think he's had great coaching. Even I know people don't think Cliff Kingsbury is much of nothing, when he was there. But yeah,
they said something today maybe they got picks, so maybe try to figure out a way to get you another receiver.
Yeah. I think you keep Justin Fields. I think some of the moves like you mentioned earlier, JB. Say Airbnb, but anyway. So I think you do keep Fields. I think you keep Fields because like the rumors of Matt Eberflus coming back. So I think that shows me that that you want to run this back. Another thing that was telling to me that I didn't realize until I thought about it today. Getting that move to trade for Montez Sweat showed me now in theory. Now I think about it now. You sign into a long-term deal. You lose a Friday pick, which would have been, in theory, a top 45 pick. I think that showed me right there that they're committed to this team going forward, and they're not going for a full rebuild. Mm-hmm. And I think with the Bears, they need to be smart with this because I think and it's maybe a detriment to my team as well. You need Washington and New England, one of them to kind of pony up to get to number one. It's almost like who want Caleb Williams the most.
Right.
Because at 3, they can drop down and get Marvin Harrison Jr. and be fine. Like you said, couple him and DJ Moore, or you have potentially 2 number 1 wide receivers in that rotation. So Yeah, I would keep Justin Fields, like you said, at least running back this year, and then and I think this is a contract year for him. I think is it because this is the year they will have to pick up his option. My memory
Yeah.
is correct. Yeah, so you have that option. Maybe you don't, just don't, see what you'll do with that. But I say keep him, and especially if you're going to keep Eberflus, and like you said, and I was talking about earlier, the move to get Montez Sweat, which made a Pro Bowl. So emotional damage. But I'll digress.
And why would you? I mean, you always got to gamble, but at least with the Fields, you know what you got. You don't really know what you're getting with Caleb Williams. I know you know what I'm saying? Like you got a potential infield. You know what I mean? And if you know you haven't really built around him, you understand? Like I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know how good Caleb Williams is going to be in the league.
Yeah, and like you said, especially now with how the Bears are looking, because I think they've won like 5 out their last 7 games or something of that nature. Where and I actually got this from a shout out to our guy Rob Johnson. This team, they kind of almost give me a Detroit Lions type of feel circa 2022. Not saying they're gonna be 12-4 next year, but they're gonna be a drastically improved team come 2024. Even though they may finish 7-10 or 8-9, that's still a great year compared to kind of what many people thought this team was going to be.
Yeah.
So I would, like I said, I would just run it back and just see what you got. If then it's their choice. Hey, do you want to pick up his option? And if you pick up his option, you can franchise him and then kind of work your way and work your magic. Because, like you said, you'll have those combinations. Like to me, so I keep him.
So since they made that trade, they made a trade, right?
Well, you're talking about the situation with Montez Sweat, yeah. And that's what made me think like they're trying to, because normally most teams don't do that at that time because it was kind of a head scratcher for a lot of people because at the time the Bears weren't. I mean, their record was just terrible at the time. They were like one of the worst teams in the league at that time. But normally that's a move reserved for a team that I got one more piece. He's going to solidify it. But to me, that just showed me like, okay, they're at least willing to invest in somebody, and this is not a clear, they're not rebuilding in a sense. They're adding on pieces and trying to add on to what they already got. So
right. So they've been winning since then. They've been winning since that trade.
Yeah, I mean, not. I wouldn't say not in spite of him, but more so I think they won like 5 out of the last 7 games.
Right. So they only won 7 games. That's what I just looked it up. They only won 7 games. So I'm like, that is a plus. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you don't get rid of Fields. You got to build on that.
Yeah. Yeah. But and like I said, if I'm Ryan Poles, I'm playing it. I'm a milk this all I can. Because really, I'm the only people that I really want to talk to is the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots. Which we say that now because they hold the number 2 and number 3 spots, and it's a potential that they may. Who knows what's going to happen this week coming up? But the draft order could change. But whoever is going to hold that number 2 and number 3 pick, it's going to be a bidding war, and whoever gets you the best deal, you go for it. And Ryan Poles, I'm like them. My strategy would be like, hey, Justin. We'll get you some help. We'll get you some draft capital today. I mean, for 2024 and then 2025. Maybe we might even get something for you for 2026.
Team and the Patriots. Your team and the Patriots.
Yeah, as it stands now. Yeah, I mean, it could all change. After Sunday.
Do you want Caleb Williams?
No, hell no. I said that on. Yep. I said, and that's funny because on Commanders in the chat, me and Rob, we disagree because he's a USC guy, and because it's a lot of people are saying it's either between him or Drake May, and Drake May from the University of North Carolina, and I'm like Sam Howell better than Drake May. So it's like, well, that scares me, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, if I'm them, I would just play. I would get the best deal out either whoever got number 2 or the number 3rd overall pick because you get Marvin Harrison at 3. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right.
So for sure. So fellas, we'll go around the horn. So we'll talk about what is our game to watch this week. Our game to watch this week is powered by the good folks at SeatGeek. Head over to SeatGeek.com. Use the promo code CouchCoach to get yourself $20 off your first purchase by using our code CouchCoach on SeatGeek.com. So, we might talk about a game that we want to watch, that we're watching this week. Maybe you want to get tickets to that game or any type of event, basketball, concerts, StubHub, not StubHub, but SeatGeek got it. Just go on there, use the promo code CouchCoach, $20 off. So, JB, what's your game to watch this weekend?
My game to watch this weekend. Ooh. Man. My game to watch this week. The Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. That's my game, man, because like so many wild things could happen. So
right.
Buffalo could end up being the number 2 seed. So that means they could get 2 home playoff games. Or if they lose, they miss the playoffs. That to me is just wild right there. So that's my game to watch. I think it's unfortunate what has happened to Miami with the injuries. Like poor Bradley Chubb, man, the non-contact injury. I just felt bad. The way he was screaming. Like I felt bad for him, and he had been having one of his best years as a pass rusher.
Yeah.
I know we probably are going to do picks later on, but I'm leaning Buffalo in this game, and because of the injuries to Miami. So, but that's my game to watch. I think it should be a good one, and it's on Sunday Night Football.
Yep. What you got, Mally?
I got 3, but I'm gonna do these 2. I'm gonna put the Bucks versus the Panthers and the Saints versus the Falcons. The Bucks and the Saints are tied, and it's going to be weird because they split. They actually split games this season, so if they both win, they both be what?
9-8.
Yeah, 9-8. So how would that work out? They play another game or?
No. I think the Bucks win the division. Actually,
I think they just got to win. They got to win.
They just got to win. If the Bucks win, now Maui, this is where it gets weird at. If the Bucks were to lose and the Falcons were to win, I think the Falcons win the division.
Yeah, I saw that. I just wanted to see if one of you dudes was gonna say something about that. Yeah, that's crazy, B. As much as bad as that is a sorry division. Oh my goodness. But but
and they get a home playoff game.
That's crazy.
Bizarre. So what's funny, all right, and I agree with you, JB, as far as the Bills versus the Dolphins, because I think essentially a lot of teams are still gonna be scoreboard watching. For sure. And that's going to happen. In a very unorthodox way, I think the game to watch is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Tennessee Titans. Because we got a sexy AFC South after dark game with the Houston Texans and Indianapolis Colts. They got to wait for the winner of Jacksonville to see who's going to win the AFC South. Yeah. Just imagine winning that football game, not knowing your fate, your playoff fate. Right. It's going to be really, really interesting. It's going to be an interesting night. And then, like you said, then could Buffalo, with that Buffalo loss, could that potentially bring either whoever that loses between Indianapolis and Houston into the playoffs, or if Jackson, or even if Jacksonville fails? So it's kind of like really intriguing.
Yeah, all of them are really.
We're gonna talk about the AFC South by about 4:30. It's gonna be really, really, really interesting. But it's gonna be, it's gonna be some games. It's gonna be really some interesting games to watch, and it's gonna be a lot of interesting scoreboard watching, and especially that 4 o'clock, the 4 o'clock window is gonna be elite as well. So it's gonna be a hell of a weekend.
Yeah, man, it really is.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. A lot of stuff is gonna be played out, and like you said, then it's so many games and that's just crazy to think how many scenarios. But the AFC South one is really intriguing to me.
And this is why you need more than one TV. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You really got multiple TVs.
Got that computer, laptop, phone.
Right.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But
And
yeah,
I'm actually looking for a screen, a remote control screen. The one come from the ceiling on the
yeah, man. We got some good ones coming down this pipe. So, as we kind of alluded earlier, so we'll talk about our picks 7. So we'll do our picks for the week. So, oh, well, first we'll start off on a Saturday afternoon matchup in the Avenue. We got Mason Rudolph coming to the Avenue.
Jordan Knight.
Yeah. Steelers versus Ravens. Who you got, JB?
The Ravens have no reason to play this game. I'm going with the Steel Curtain.
What you got, Mallory?
My bad. I'm going with the Steelers. I'm really happy that they're not playing Lamar, because I think that Tomlin them know a way to stop him. You know what I mean? In some type of way, they have a complete confidence on how to stop Lamar, and I don't think the playoffs needed that film to look at. So that's one of my main reasons, and I don't want him to get hurt. You know what I mean? So especially when they got something to play for. You know what I mean? So I'm going Steelers.
Yeah, give me the Steelers too, because and rest up Baltimore, because you might have Joe Wacko Flacco and the Cleveland Browns coming to town in 2 weeks. So get some rest, guys. We got the Texans versus the Colts, a sexy AFC at the dark matchup. Buck and Troy gonna be there, so it's gonna add extra sexiness. Who you got? JB, my bad.
You said Detroit versus who?
Oh no, no, the Texans and the Colts.
Oh, the Texans and the Colts. Why did I think Detroit? Okay, Texans and Colts. CJ Stroud is back and healthy. I'm gonna go with the Texans to win this game.
Okay.
Me too.
You got to.
I think I picked them. I picked them to win the division.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm picking the Texans.
Okay. You said the Texans. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the George Guard. George Guard is doing his thing and staying shaking and all of them. They're doing their thing, but yeah, I think the Texans gonna win on the road, and they'll be having a waiting game to see if they're gonna win the AFC South. So give me the Texans.
Right.
All right. We got the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers, and pretty much Green Bay, you win and you win. What you got, JB?
Oof, this is a tough one. And the game is where? The game is in.
So
the game is in Chicago.
Oh no! My bad. Green Bay, my bad. Green Bay.
Oh, okay. It's in Green Bay. Ooh. This is a tough one. I feel like this is a toss-up. I feel like this is kind of a trap game. Now, what I will say is I do think that the Packers, they do a better job the second time of playing the team. I'm gonna go with the Packers here, but if I was gambling, I would stay away from this game.
Yeah. And what you got, Bowie?
I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah, because this reminds me a lot of last year when Detroit went into Lambeau and beat the Packers, and Packers went and almost and the crazy thing about this, they were in the same situation last year, essentially. And, and the Seahawks, Seahawks was able to get in. I don't think it's going to happen yet again. I know we're not going to have a passionate Jamal Williams post game thing. I'm a thug, but. Give me the Packers, and I think they'll get themselves in this time finally. All right, got a NFC East matchup. So the Eagles versus the Giants. Who you got, JB?
The Eagles versus the Giants. I can't believe I'm gonna do this, man. Philly, something's not right in Philly, man. Something is going on there. I'm probably gonna look like an idiot, but I'm going Giants here. I think the Giants are gonna upset them.
Okay. hey, just send your 2023 Philadelphia Eagles NFC East champion shirts somewhere to another country. So
Send them to Southeast Asia and Africa and South America.
So y'all think Hurst is gonna play?
Yeah, he got to. He better.
I mean, according to David Carr, they should just sit him out, man. They should put in Marcus Mariota. Yeah.
So what your boy Irv say? CTE. What you got, Mel?
I'm picking the Eagles. What's wrong with them is they missed that offensive coordinator from last year. That's what the problem is. That's what the real.
I agree 100%.
And can we low key? I kind of low key want to put him in the coach of the year, table, because people starting to sleep on what Shane Steichen is doing in Indianapolis.
Right.
Oh, he's made Gardner Minshew look better than what he actually is, because I thought when when Richardson got hurt, I was like, there's no way in the world they're going to win 7 games this year, and you know they're going to end up with they have a winning record. They're 9-7, so
right. They mess around and win 10 games,
right?
Yeah,
potentially crazy,
right?
Yeah, Shane Steichen, man. It's a difference, and like you said, So I think the Eagles gonna win this game. I think, especially with all this turmoil that has happened, we're really gonna see what's gonna happen with this team, because Lord knows if they lose to the Eagles, they lose to the Giants after losing to Arizona last week. Man, fail, Eagle, fail.
I mean, them losing to the Giants wouldn't be. I mean, like, they lost to Drew Lock and the Seahawks, man. Like, I mean, like, that was. I mean, Tyrod Taylor is not a bad quarterback, man. Like, I mean, I understand he's not. You know, he's never going to be a top 12, top 15 guy, but he's not bad. He's competent, man. He's a veteran too. Yeah. So.
I think more so, and I think it's just more so the simple fact that, hey, you have potential to win the NFC East. Like, this is a playoff game. That's my mentality with that. So it's like they can't scoreboard watch. They got to stay focused and play this football game, and they can't really get distracted on the other game that we're gonna talk about, the Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys. JB, what you got? We know what you got.
Man, you know, I don't, man. I like the Cowboys, man. I don't like picking this. This game scares me, man, because like I think that they're too big of favorites, man. I would not make them 13-point favorite. Now, if I was Washington, like, I'm not trying to be. If I was the owner of the Commanders, I would go to Ron Rivera and be like, "Look, man, like, wink, wink. We're not winning this game. We need to have a top 2 pick. Wink, wink." But Ron Rivera is so he's so down. He moves to his own tune or whatever. But this game scares me. I'm not picking this game. I'm staying away from this game. But like, this game scares me. This game scares me, man, because I saw what happened last year.
Yeah,
Dallas better come ready to play. That's all I got to say.
And that could be the issue. Yeah, that's true. I ain't thinking about like that from y'all perspective like last year. Yeah, what you got, Maui?
I'm going to Commanders, man. I feel like my bad. Where they playing at?
FedEx at the crib.
I'm picking the Commanders. If they run the ball effectively, stay aggressive. It's the last game, and it's that rival game. Rival games should always scare anybody, because anybody could win. You know what I mean? When it's a rival game, and then it's the Cowboys. They're not at home. No disrespect, JB. I hate doing this when you hear, man. I feel you staring. I feel like you're staring at me. Give me the evil look.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay. I'm gonna put the jinx on the Lakers.
It's too late. They playing in DC, and there is a blueprint of how to beat them in the last few games, which is try to figure out a way to run the ball effectively against them. You know what I mean? So hopefully they try to figure that blueprint out. Luckily, my team got the referee, so they should be okay.
Well, to much everybody's surprise, JB, Christensen already passed away 2 weeks ago. I'm giving you the ultimate Christmas gift, and this probably ever, ain't nothing wrong with me. But congratulations, JB, on winning the 2023 NFC East. I think we're gonna give it to you guys.
Oh
I think Cowboys
no.
gonna win this football game. I mean, but if you look at this football team, they've checked out. They've checked out. They gave a valiant effort last week against San Francisco, but this team, they're done. They're checked out. I mean, these guys at this point, they like, okay, Monday, am I leaving out of Reagan or am I leaving out of Dulles?
No, that's
they're getting the first. It's the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and Maui, I get what you're saying. It's a rivalry game, and Dallas does not play well on the road. But I just think it's in Washington's it's in their best interest to lose this game because like they're going to end up with a top 2 pick if they lose the game. If they fuck around and win this game, they could end up like jumping some spots in the draft or whatever. I'm like I said, I'm gonna stay away from this game because I think that being a 13-point favorite on the road is insane to me. So that's why I'm staying away from this game.
This team is checked out. They've checked out since November. This team is not going to do nothing. And like you said, this isn't going to be the win one for the Gipper, aka Ron Rivera. Man, these guys, like I said, they don't care. Man, they're at a point. I'm gonna get dressed at 4:25. Okay, what time we leaving? The game over about 7:00. All right, let's get some good dinner and we going to Cancun. We either gonna fly out of Reagan or Dulles. We getting the hell out of town come Monday. This team don't care. They've checked out. There's nothing in this 7-game losing streak that can see this Washington Commanders team do anything. They're just gonna lay down, throw damn confetti for y'all. Get the shirts and get the champagne. Y'all gonna have to taste the champagne. So what I do, we'll put the plastic over the top of the locker room. Give y'all some time, clean up before 8:00. Get the hell out of FedEx. Win y'all NFC East championship. Get the hell on and celebrate.
Yeah,
we're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
Yeah, and Ron Rivera maybe needs to pack his stuff up. He should be packing the stuff up right now. He should be packing the stuff up right now.
Everybody has trash bags. They got trash bags.
Yeah.
This is a trash bag game. This is where you're gonna load your car, back your car into the facility so you can put all your bags from your locker in. It's done. This team has no fight. They've checked out. This is like you said. Just make sure y'all know y'all can leave a mess. Be done about 8:30. Wrap it up about 8:30. Get on that plane back to Dallas so we can clean up and get the hell out and fire Ron by 6:00 in the morning on Monday.
So dramatic.
It's the truth.
Take the
we gotta go with a bang. We gotta go out with a bang.
Go to a Wizards game. Get you a cheesesteak, Rock Creek fruit punch.
No, don't go to that Wizards game. It's gonna make you even more. It's gonna make you doubly depressed.
Right. Hey man, this ain't your seats. Do you really care? It's all good.
Right. Yeah, man. So we got the Bills and the Dolphins. JB, who you got? I know you kind of tip your pick a little bit earlier, but what you got?
I'm going with the Bills, man. I think the Bills are going to win this game.
Yeah. What you got, Maui?
I'm going Dolphins. Okay. Because I need them to win.
Give me the Buffalo Bills, and I think they might have a date maybe with the Indianapolis Colts or the Houston Texans potentially. So yeah, somebody's going to be on the road in Buffalo. So the George Guard maybe heading to Buffalo next week, or maybe the Rookie of the Year might be heading to Buffalo. Who knows?
Upstate New York in January. Whoa. What a beautiful time to be there.
Just pack you some leg warmers and an extra lunch. It's gonna get physical. It's gonna be so pack a lunch and a dinner when you go to Orchard Park. So. We got round pick 7 with the Natty. We got Michigan versus Washington. Who you got, JP, winning the Natty?
This is great, man, because you have people who think Washington has a very good offensive line and Michigan has a great defensive line. So something's got to give. I'm gonna go with Michigan. I'm gonna go with Michigan. I think Michigan is going to win their first national championship since Charles Woodson was there. So yeah. So
Yeah.
um
Who you got?
yeah.
I'm going Washington.
Okay. You going to watch? Okay. All right. Give me Michigan. I think our guy Jim Harbaugh is gonna ride out to glory and head back to the National Football League. So I definitely think this is gonna be the year of the Maize and Blue. It is long time coming, like you said, since '97. They're here, but it's gonna be a definitely definitely Michigan will win and have his swan song and head to the back to the NFL. Don't know where he's gonna go, but I'm hoping he's going somewhere where he's so richly deserves to be at. But I'll leave that point for another time, another week. But we got plenty of time to talk about that. Okay, let's not talk about my Christmas wish. So we'll put a bow on tonight's Couch Coach Live. We'll go first. Who gets this week's game ball? I'm gonna go with you first, JB. Who you got?
I'm gonna give my game ball. I'm gonna give my game ball to CD Lamb. CD Lamb had an amazing game. Stop fumbling at the 1 yard line, Dallas. Y'all killing me. Yes, killing me back to back weeks. But he had a good game. He broke the reception record and the yardage record that was held by Mr. Undisputed Michael Irvin. So I want to give a shout out to CD Lamb, proving that he's more than just a slot receiver.
Hey man, I tell you, I knew that boy was special when he took that phone out of his girlfriend's hand.
Me too.
And then draft.
Yeah.
I like awareness on 100. What you got? What you
He
got?
played in every locker room. I'm gonna stop. My game ball goes to the Ravens, showing their dominance against the Dolphins. I'm giving it to the Steelers for their showing playing a good game. Actually, no, I'm giving it to the Steelers for finally listening to what I've been saying all season. That's why I ain't really been talking about it. I'm like, if you're gonna be dumb, you be dumb. It's like a hard-headed child. You know what I mean? And I'm also giving it to Brad Allen, the referee from the Lions and Cowboy game, for actually proving us right that there's some issues going on when you play against the Cowboys at home. There it is. Okay. And guess what? I would say allegedly, but if you go on YouTube, boy, they are investigating. I was like, wow. Hey, JB, no disrespect, but you know what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think that what's funny about the whole thing is I think people forget that they screwed up the tripping call towards the end of the fourth quarter where they called Schoonmaker for a trip when it was Aiden Hutchinson tripping. So if that call goes against the Lions like it should have, then the second bad call never happens. I mean, I think the refereeing has been atrocious this year. I mean, yeah, it's been horrible this year.
Horrible. Yeah. And and like I said, it's really not even against the team. It's really just simple fact. And then the other thing is, I know we gotta move forward, is the gambling portion of it. It's really making it look really, 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 really bad. Even they're starting to pay attention to where they're placing the balls at. And sometimes you be like, that's not where they were. They were way farther up, forward than that. And then they'll move it backwards. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Hey, this is a catch observer. So my game ball got to go to Christian Martin. Christian Martin is the quarterback for Highland Springs High School. He was named 2022 Richmond Town Dispatch Player of the Year. He also was the 2021 Richmond Town Dispatch Player of the Year. If you follow us here on Couch Coach Live for the last essentially almost 10 years, I've always when we mention Russell Wilson, I always start with that he's the 2-time Richmond Times Dispatch Player of the Year, and he was the only one. Now Christian Martin now adds to that growing list. So it's two guys that have won the Richmond Times Dispatch Player of the Year. Now it's Christian Martin and Russell Wilson. So it's great to have a 2-time Richmond Times Dispatch Player of the Year that went to Highland Springs High School. So That's my game ball this week. So shout out to Christian Martin. Looking forward to seeing what he's gonna do at Maryland next year, and and what he's gonna do to these Big Ten opponents that he'll have going forward. So yeah, man. Two guys now. Two guys are in the fraternity.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Shout out to Russell Wilson, future Washington Commanders quarterback.
Nah, he ain't coming to us. I thought about it, but I don't think he's coming to Washington.
I remember years ago, you was like, "Yeah, he coming home. He coming home."
Yeah, because at that time I think we would have needed him in the sense where I think we were a lot closer, like as far as a playoff team. At that time, I think 2021. At that time, we had Taylor Heineke as our quarterback, and also who else was in our rotation. But I think Taylor Heineke played a significant amount of football was at the time. So at the time we needed that. We needed that type of quarterback to kind of bring us over the hump. But I think they're doing a full rebuild. I think Washington's going. Yeah, they clean the house. Like I said, it's a trash bag game. He might get rid of me. It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that clean. It's gonna be that much cleansing. He's gonna get rid of fans.
In the background, it'd be all XFL. XFL.
I know. I'm going to the defenders.
Right.
out of UFL now. The UFL. So. So. Before we head on out, he gonna go to the defenders. That's crazy. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, man. I got, like we been saying on the Commanders in the Chat podcast. Hey, I don't know. After January 8th, he might get rid of us too. But so we'll put a bow on tonight's Couch Coach Live. So we'll do our final thoughts and social media, anything you got going on. So your final thoughts, JB, what you got?
Nothing, man. It was nice chatting with you guys again. It's been a long time. I think last time I did one was like maybe September or October. So yeah, it was nice chatting with you guys again. And yeah, I'm on Instagram, Jamie B Foodie.
All right. What you got, Maui?
Hey man, great show. Final thoughts. I was watching the show and it was talking about Troy Polamalu, and it just made me think about everything, how all these experts that talk about the draft and all these and that really don't know what they're talking about. And I hope these teams stop listening to them. Just go with your gut, man. Because some of our greatest football players, they're too small. They're this, they're that. And then the ones they blow up, they be scud. You know what I mean? It ain't even worth it. Like, why? Well, you just a waste of space. You know what I mean? It was somebody that had the heart to really play those positions. So, but anyway, Sean Morgan, Facebook, DT Morgan 78, Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Once again, another great show. Great way to start 2024. Pretty much on social media.
Guys, I gotta go. I gotta run. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. So on social media. Yeah, all right. So social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram under Couch Coach Live. Check out the website, couchcoachlive.com. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. Just never show the surprises here on Couch Coach Live. Also, you never know what can happen. And also, like I said, the website. Then also check out my Washington Commander Centric podcast, our final regular season show tomorrow at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. But we'll have a show brewing on Monday, so we'll have that going, and we'll broadcast that out here on Couch Coach Live. I think we'll probably do a show on Monday after the firing of Ron Rivera. So stay tuned with that. I'll announce all that when we get everything all squared away. So once again, another great show, and we'll catch you guys next week. This has been this week's Couch Coach Live, and we're out.
You're welcome.